All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all, back with some interesting news here. Interesting news. As y'all know, Danielle Kelly. Well, if you're not familiar with Danielle Kelly, she is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And you can go to like UFC Fight Pass and check out some of her grappling bouts. You know, she's been in there rolling with some of the best of them. You know, everybody from Roxanne Modafferi. She's beat her, Cynthia Calvillo, and most recently, Carla Esparza. She was supposed to be taking on Rose, but Carla stepped in because Rose had to, Rose backed out for whatever reason. But Danielle Kelly, she's known, like I said, as one of those Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners like Mackenzie Dern that's been putting in that work. Very solid grappler, been doing it for years. And at 26 years old, already earned that black belt. And, she's becoming one of those legends like Dern on the mat. But good news, she just recently signed to one championship. As of right now, she's just going to be doing grappling bouts, but eventually she wants to make that transition and fight under ONE FC as an MMA fighter. This is what she posted up on her IG because somebody asked me about it, what my thoughts were, so I said I'd go ahead and do a video on it. But this is what she said. Happy to announce I'm officially a ONE Championship athlete. I'm also proud to be a part of Evolve MMA. I'll be doing grappling bouts under them. And then when I'm ready to do MMA, they'll be the promotion that I'll fight under. All right. So, yeah, she's already kind of been working with Evolve MMA, linked up with them, to help her on her road to make that transition. No timestamp yet whenever she's going to, make that transition to MMA. As of right now, she's going to just be doing grappling bouts with ONE FC. So my thoughts on that, hey, go for it. Now's the time to go ahead and try for it. I mean, I don't know how much these fighters make off of grappling bouts or how much she'd be making off of grappling bouts with ONE FC. But I know that if she made that transition to MMA through ONE Championship, the money would definitely be better, right? Because MMA is something that people will look at more than these grappling bouts, right? So I say go for it. She's still young. She earned that she earned that black belt in BJJ at 26 years old. She has some good wins under her belt. So she definitely has that going for her, similar to like Mackenzie Dern, which I'll bring up here in a minute on why it can be a gift and a curse if you overlook some things. But as of right now, if she's got that hunger and she wants to be a complete fighter or mixed martial artist, I say go for it. Because you see a lot of, boxers, Muay Thai fighters, they make that transition, because they want to, just go for legacy, but they also want more money. And I think for somebody like Danielle Kelly in her situation, she could kind of pull what Mackenzie Dern did over at the UFC. Like, even if you're not, a world beater yet or an elite level fighter, it opens other doors for you, right? Danielle Kelly already has like over 100,000 followers on IG. So if she can get to a certain level and get all eyes on her, she can still find her lane there in MMA and, gain that following and get money other ways, right? Even if you ever get the belt. Like Mackenzie Dern, she's in a good place now at number 5. Will she be a world beater? I mean, will she ever be like the champion? It's still up in the air because, her skills still need to be polished up, but she's still in a good place. She's right in the middle where she can kind of work off that. It's definitely like built up her following. So business-wise, for Danielle Kelly, it's much better because, the money's better in MMA. It's much better than just doing these grappling bouts. So I think that, she's making a good decision in that manner. But at the same time, you have to put the work in. To be a MMA fighter, you have to put the work in. It's just not going to be like she can just go in here and be second nature like it was with BJJ. Now, granted, her having that extensive background, in grappling, having that black belt, that's one check off the list. That's good. I think it's better that she has that than like for some boxers. When some boxers make that transition, they have a harder time, switching up their stances and, have a harder time understanding how to fight off their back. So if anything, that is a plus for her as long as she knows how to use it, and make that transition. But that's good that she has that because that's one thing that'll make it more comfortable for her when she's taken down or she goes down to the ground. It'll be all her, right? But the one thing that she'll have to make sure she has when she gets into the game so she can get fights down to the ground, that one thing that kind of troubles Mackenzie Dern is good takedowns and good wrestling, right? That's the one thing that Mackenzie Dern has trouble with. Yeah, she's good on the ground. She can submit you just like that. But when it comes down to her wrestling, that's something she needs to work on. So for Danielle Kelly early on, wrestle. That's really what she has to work on. Also, just getting that fundamental, the basic fundamentals of striking. Making sure her footwork is on point. To get in and get out, land punches, don't be sloppy. Early on, Dern making that transition, you could tell that she was a fighter that was used to just being on the ground because when she was fighting on her feet, It was always getting tied up, which they still are. Her punches are wild, so it's a whole different world when you're standing on your feet. That's why I always talk about, even with Jillian Robertson, like she changes into a different fighter when she's on the ground, but when she's on her feet, it's like she's very uncomfortable. Like, and it's almost like her feet are strange to her, like they're alien to her. Like, how she can just can't plant her feet and really like throw with bad intentions. Now, when she get down to the ground, she be slicing elbows, throwing hard ground and pound, but it's almost like she's not familiar with her feet anymore when she's standing, right? So for somebody like Danielle Kelly moving forward in the MMA, she has to make sure she's got that striking down, that Muay Thai, kickboxing. She's got to be all into that. Same way Erin Blanchfield, I think, is, she's made a lot of improvements early on from her, MMA debut since she was like 18. You know what I mean? She was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but now she's slowly been looking better on her feet, with her kickboxing. So yeah, man, I think, it's a good thing for Danielle Kelly, to go over to ONE FC and, get in there and start, getting into the cage, because, like I said, financially, that's a good thing. And I mean, if she really wants to be like recognized as like a good fighter, if it's just something she wants to do for her own legacy, hey, I say go for it. 26, that's the time to do it. Having that black belt in jiu-jitsu, that's, like I said, that's going to be one check down. But from there, you got to learn how to put it together with everything else, right, to be a complete MMA fighter. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Y'all looking forward to it? Do you care? Do you don't care? Do you think she'll have the same success and be, just as good as she was, just as a grappler? Of course, we all know the answer to that. It's going to take a lot of work. It's still a big gamble, right? So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.